The recent investment of Walmart into Flipkart, 77% stake on 1,08,000 crore rupees, which has actually created a huge level of energy, huge level of excitement in the Indian market. Definitely, Flipkart being an Indian company and the majority stakeholding is being taken over by an American company is definitely a concern for a lot of people. Of course, a person like me also always believe that it would have been a great thing had an Indian company did the same thing, that is buying out 77% stake for about 1 lakh crore rupees. That would have been the greatest thing which would have happened. But still, anyway, you are seeing the success, the growth of an enterprise which just started in about 9 years back, and in 9 years, how much capital valuation can enhance in a company. That's what we have seen in the Flipkart case. And Sachin Bensal, one of the founders, who walked out of this company selling his last bit of 5.5% stake for about $1 billion. It's a good exit, even though definitely he has done a lot of things to make this Flipkart to this level, and he has got a, I would rather say that we should salute that gentleman because what he has contributed to the country and the e-commerce industry in India. But still, he also got a great exit. The last bit of shares he sold at $1 billion. So it has been a great thing, whatever it is, whichever way you interpret, whichever way we evaluate. If you look at it, this has opened the eyes for a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of businessmen. People have a lot of questions also in their mind. How does it happen? How this kind of valuations happen? About a year back, there used to be some reports which were portraying Flipkart is making a book loss of close to about 5,900 crores. So a company which is making a book loss of 5,900 crores, still getting a valuation close to about 20 billion US dollars and attracting an investment of 1,08,000 crore just for 77% of the dilution. So what is the dynamics? Even if your company is not profitable, how you are going to get a higher valuation? This is one question most of the businessmen ask me, especially I think anybody who is in the business consulting and business coaching space, they are all getting the same questions. And it's not just a Flipkart story. There are so many stories like this. Look at Big Basket, another great success story in India, where till now around $880 million have been invested into this company by different venture capital companies. And close to about 4,000 crores. The company is still in loss. So what is the dynamics? So we need to understand what is going on right now in this Indian market. If you're an entrepreneur or a businessman who is looking ahead, who is looking forward, because India is a growing market and we all know that the next 20 years, India is going to be one among the top 3 economies in the world. And as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, you stand a chance to be a multi-billionaire because of the India growth story. Unless and until you don't know the capital mechanism which is running right now in the Indian market, we won't be able to understand how these valuations and how this kind of wealth can be created, how this kind of wealth can be created, not just profits. Most of the businessmen, most of the entrepreneurs even now thinking about profits. When financial statements are being produced in front of them, most of the entrepreneurs look at only the profit and loss account, and most of the time you look at the bottom line, that is the profit or loss, and you never look at the balance sheet. And you consider that the balance sheet is something which the chartered accountant or the CFO of the company has to look at. But right now, if you wanted to really get a grasp of the Indian market and get the best going for your company in the Indian market, you need to understand capital dynamics, capital mechanism. Because all these companies, whether it is the Big Basket, whether it is a Flipkart, whether it is Snapdeal, whether it is Paytm, all these companies got huge level of valuation, and the founders created so much of wealth, not from the profits, but from the wealth, from the capital growth they created, the capital valuation they created. For that, we need to understand what is capital mechanism. For that, we need to understand how I can enhance the value of my capital. We need to start focusing on the capital part of the business. It's not just the asset, it's not how many buildings you have, how much of landed property you have, it doesn't matter. It's pure capital and how I can enhance the value of my capital. If you look at Flipkart, I think till now around 16 rounds of funding has happened in Flipkart. Every round of funding, if you look at it, it is enhancing the value of the company, enhancing the value of the capital. So this is a mechanism we need to learn. That's where we in Brahma, what we do is that we have something called a roadmap to IPO. Roadmap to IPO means a company from zero, how it can go to the IPO level, how it can issue the shares to the public, and what is a roadmap, and how many rounds of funding you can do between the present moment and the time you are going to hit the market. And every time you are going to enhance the valuation. And this mechanism, if you don't understand, you will still looking at the profit and loss of the business. And I think, I don't know whether you're going to really have a hold on the growth story of India. Understand one thing, most of the businesses suffer because of lack of fund. But there is no lack of fund. Understand it. Walmart just pumped in 1,08,000 crores. There is no lack of funds. The world is not in a scarcity situation. There is no scarcity at all. Right now, the world is facing a situation called super capital abundance. What is super capital abundance? Super capital abundance is something like this. The global GDP, that means the entire income which is generated in this country, you put that one side. 10 times of that is there as the capital reserves in big corporates like Microsoft or Apple or you take Infosys or Wipro or this kind of companies. You take all these companies and combine the reserves. You can see that is 10 times of what? 10 times of the global GDP. This is something huge. So that means there are lots of funds. What do they do with these reserves? What do they do with this fund? They are looking for opportunities where they can invest funds. Like Walmart has put in 1 lakh crores in Flipkart. These companies are looking for the right opportunities, right business models, right propositions which has got scalability, which has got a futuristic growth to fund it and take that company to the next levels. So there is no scarcity of resources. The scarcity is in resourcefulness. If you have resourcefulness, resources are there already. There are plenty of resources, there are plenty of funds. But your resourcefulness is the most important thing. Your business's resourcefulness is the most important thing. When I consider about business's resourcefulness, I'm talking about the business model, I'm talking about the value proposition, I'm talking about the scalability, I'm talking about the entry barriers. All these are some of the factors what I'm looking at. So think about your business from that perspective, from a capital mechanism perspective. There is a lot to be gained in this market. As I rightly said, there are a lot of funds. Just imagine SoftBank. SoftBank invested about $1.7 billion into Flipkart about 9 months back. And when Walmart took over 77% stakes, they bought over the entire stakes of SoftBank. And the multiples, if you look at it, in just 9 months, whatever SoftBank has invested has doubled. That means they are exiting at around $3.4 billion. The question is what they're going to do with the $3.4 billion. They are looking for the next bigger opportunity. And I was reading a news journal and in which they are saying that, we are not able to find out a big opportunity where we can pump in that kind of funds in India. That means India is, in a way, there is huge supply of funds. They are looking for the right kind of business models, right kind of businesses which has got a huge value proposition. Now, entrepreneurs, think about it. You have a golden era right in front of you. So think about the business from that perspective, how I can create a model which goes with the capital mechanism and the capital dynamics which is right now running in this country. And there is a huge opportunity right now waiting for you. See you next time. Bye.